Great morning. Cameras on. Let's get started with the 7 a.m. leadership call. Great morning, Cedar. Great morning, Kimberly. Great morning, Maria. Great morning, Laquita. Great morning, Dudley. Great morning, Yosef. Great morning, King. Great morning, Crystal. Great morning, Tharley. Great morning, Art. Great morning, Rashid. Great morning. Great morning, Mike. Great morning. All right, guys. Without further ado, let me pass the call off to Cedar. She'll be running the call. Let's get ready to learn. If you got the pen and paper, you're ready. If you got a student mindset, you are ready. Let's get it.
Great morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a restful night and everybody's ready for today. So let's get it. So this is our time where we train. So this is our leaders that we train this morning. So we're here and we're getting ready to train Miss Charlene with talent acquisition. She is our first speaker and she's one of the best people that you will meet. And let's give it up for Miss Charlene.
Thank you, Miss Cedar. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can we get those cameras on, ladies and gents?
Good
You should
morning.
be getting used to me saying it. So I know that you actually want to take in what I'm talking about this morning. Of course, everyone knows I am talent acquisition for Bridge to Gap Marketing. I like to roll out the red carpet for those who come through me to vet for the position with our company. And I get to meet a lot of good people while I'm doing that. But this morning, my topic I want to speak on is personal responsibility and why it's important. Now, setting personal responsibility boundaries, those are rules that make you aware of your every action once you do that. And when you are conscious, you analyze your steps much clearer. You hold yourself actively responsible for your life when you take on personal responsibility. It can also help you lead a better life, but the butterfly effects of it will affect everybody around you if you are practicing it properly and you are making sure that you practice it with people that you come in contact on a daily basis. You may think that personal responsibility doesn't end with you. Really, it begins with you. You are the beginning of the personal responsibility. Until you get yourself together personally, you cannot help anyone else get themselves together. So as you carry on, you have to extend your process of life through all areas, whether it be with your loved ones, whether it be with your friends on the street, whether it be strangers that you meet. You want to make sure you carry your own personal responsibility, because personal responsibility can put you into a lot of different areas that you may not want to be in. Personal responsibility means that you owning up to the positive and the negative consequences of your choices and your behavior. When you take personal responsibility for those, whether it be good or bad, then you are definitely taking personal responsibility, and that's part of taking care of yourself. It's when you those actions and decisions that you take on, when you hold yourself, it gives you more room to not give the blame game. When you're passing on the blame game, you're not getting anywhere. You're not getting anywhere with the person you're passing the blame on to. You're not getting anywhere with yourself by pretending that you're not involved. You're just blaming someone else. So always make sure that you don't blame other folks when you know you made the mistake. When you had the choice to do one thing the right way, don't blame somebody else when it all goes wrong because you chose to do it another way and then it became a problem. So don't blame people. That's the first thing you don't want to do. That's a big important of taking personal responsibility of your choices that you make in life. We all have choices to make. Some days we have tougher choices than others, but when you take responsibility for those choices, that's you taking your own personal responsibility. So if you mess up, take responsibility. Say, I apologize, whatever, fix it, do whatever you have to do, but don't put the blame on someone else to make them have to feel they're going to carry your burden for what you have done. It's crucial because it helps you recollect your life properly, and it prevents you from derailing your mental and physical health as well. Lack of personal responsibility reflects on how you care for yourself. Most definitely. If we don't have our personal responsibility, you'll start to see. We get up in the morning, we won't comb our hair, we won't wash our face, we won't brush our teeth if we didn't have personal responsibility. And I know all of you on this call, before you got on this call, you had to get up and do some of those very same things. You had to get dressed, you had to wash your face, you had to brush your teeth, you had to take a shower. That's taking personal responsibility. But if you didn't take that shower, or you didn't brush your teeth, or you didn't get your breakfast, or whatever you need this morning, who's responsible for that? You. Nobody but you. Personal responsibility is all about you, and it starts with you. Now, to sum it up, I want to go through how to attain that personal responsibility, which I first just said. Stop blaming other people. Don't blame other people when you have made a mistake. Take ownership of what you've done and do.
You're on mute, Miss Charlene. You're on mute. The last thing I heard was responsibility.
Yes, you went out, Miss Charlene. You went out.
Okay, well, last thing you heard was what, darling?
I think responsibility for other people, something like that.
Right, taking responsibility for yourself. That was I was speaking on not blaming others. Take the responsibility for yourself, not to put it off on someone else, something that you messed up on, because that is, that can cause problems, that can cause issues, and you don't want that. Sometimes taking responsibility is not always easy, and it can be difficult, and it can be very uncomfortable. But if you can't accept the own downfalls of yourself, how do you expect to hear from someone else? In this company, we have what we call a call out culture. If every time I got called out on something in this company and I went to blame it, oh, I didn't do that. Quincy did that. Miss Cedar made me do that. I'm not taking personal responsibility for my own actions. You have to take personal responsibility for your own actions. So that's why I said, don't blame. And then form good habits. Good habits. I spoke on habits and routines last week, if any of you was here to remember, but habits and routines are what I spoke on last week. If you form good habits, that promotes your mental, physical, and emotional parts of yourself. It keeps you going. It increases your responsibility as well. It helps you become more attentive and alert and aware of everything that's going on around you. Habits, they train you for higher productivity. So in retrospect, you ultimately need to know yourself best. You need to know yourself best. No one can know you better than you know you. Someone can tell you about you all day, but they don't know you like you know you. None of you will ever know me like I know me. My son knows me. He knows a lot about me, but my son do not know me, and I do not know him to some certain levels. So he takes responsibility for what he does. I take responsibility for what I do, and everyone on this call should take responsibility for what they do. And in retrospect, I want everyone to just be able to accept that you are the first person to be able to criticize your own self. If you can accept it from yourself, because you give yourself the most harshest criticism you can give. No one can give it to you harder than you can give yourself. And if you can accept that, you will be just fine. So take the self-responsibility to make sure that you take actions and responsibility for your actions. Thank you, guys. Drop it in the chat if you have any questions, or wave your hand if you want to say something.
Thank you, Miss Charlene. Talent acquisition. That was knowledge, guys, and knowledge is power. I hope you guys are taking notes, because Miss Charlene, I'm gonna send you some fire right now. That was amazing.
Thank you, Miss Charlene.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, talent acquisition. Why personal responsibility is important. And don't blame others. Take responsibility of your actions. Form good habits, and habits train you. So those are some keys that I saw, Miss Charlene, and that's really amazing. I'm gonna write that stuff down, and I'm gonna have it for my notes. So when I need to go back, if I start blaming somebody else about something I did, I'll take action on that. So that's amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Charlene. And we will now throw the ball over to Mitharli Severe. She is call center number 3. Great morning, Mithali.
Great morning, Sita. Great morning, everybody. Great morning. So today, my topic will be how to take care of yourself while you're in the field and to avoid crashing out. I don't have a lot of tips, but it's about 4. And the first one I do have is to always know ahead where you're gonna be the next day. Don't wait to find out the next morning to know where you're going to work, if it's going to be in this area or by this Walmart, by this office or wherever. Figure that out before the day so you can avoid actually not even going to work because you're still having to decide. So if you really want to go out there and work, you have to know ahead where you're going to be at, how long it's going to take for you to get there, and what time you're supposed to get there, and what time you're going to finish. So you have to know your shift. And yeah, you just have to make sure you decide. Decide, don't wait till the next morning. And with that being said, you also have to know what time you're going to go ahead and sleep, because first thing first, we need to be active while we're in the field, and we actually don't need to be sleepy. We have to be energized. We have to, have enough energy to speak to these customers and to want to work. Because I know how we get when we're sleepy. We get, grumpy. We don't really want to be there. We don't really want to speak to these customers, and people can tell when you're too tired to even be there because you're not going to look like you want to be there. So sleep early. You don't have to go to sleep at 7 p.m. or 8 or whatever. If you can, try to get to bed before 11, at least, before 11. I try to be in bed by 10 sometimes if I can, but I make sure 12 because I'm not up at 12. Because that's all we're supposed to be in bed. And we all know that. So if you know you're gonna be out there early, get a good night rest so that you can stay awake while you're in the field. And, you need to make that a habit. If you do need a Red Bull, go ahead and do that. But I drink that myself sometimes, but don't make it a habit. It helps, but don't make it a habit, because once you make it a habit, you're gonna make it seem like it's okay to not sleep. It's okay to get 2 hours of sleep, and a Red Bull is going to carry you throughout the day, but that's not true. And it's not even that healthy. So try your best to, get a good night rest so you could be awake in the field. And number 3, I do have take a lunch break. And if you don't want it to be a lunch break, take a break to whether it's 15 minutes to 30 minutes to actually regroup yourself, take a breather, eat something. Look at your numbers. If you made any sales yet, look at what you can do better for the second half of the day. If you have to readjust your goals or readjust your numbers, whatever it is that you have to do, take a little break so that you can make sure that you prepare yourself to go back in the field and, kick butts and take names. And then number 4, if you need anything, do not let it come to you. Go out there and get it. If you need anything, whether it's, you need something from your manager can't read your mind. None of us here can read each other's mind. So if you know you need something, you have to speak up, and that's how you go out there and grab it. If you have to call your manager or call somebody to get it for you, your manager doesn't have it, they'll probably, direct you to someone else that has it. Or if you have your coworkers with you that are in the field with you, you guys can communicate with each other. If your manager tells you this person may be the best person to speak to, if you need guidance in the field, you're not by yourself. You might be in your location by yourself, which is rare sometimes, but if you are, you're still not by yourself. You have your manager and you have your people to call to help guide you, and you could do the best that you can. That's basically it. That's all I have for you guys this morning. 4 tips on how to not crash out and take care of yourself while we are in the field. If you have any questions, then I'm also here as the call center, extension 3. We have 3 extensions. So if you need anything with a sale, you need help with a sale, we're all here for you, as well as your managers, but we're all here for you. All right, that's it for this morning. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat.
Thank you for that, Tharly. Let's show some fire in the chat for Tharly. Call center number 3. Know your plans ahead topic, so you don't crash out in the field. Number 1, be alert, sleep early. 2, get a good night's rest and take a break. Go out and get what you need and speak up. So, Mithali, I love that. If you guys have any questions for her, drop it in the chat. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Tharly. Now we're going to give the ball over to Dudley. Call center number 1. Did Dudley drop or?
Yes.
Okay, here we are.
Okay. Hello, guys. Good morning. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Right.
Great
Good morning. Good morning. So my name is Dudley Francois, call center number 1 admin, right? And today what I want to talk about is 3 steps to making sure that you are healthy. Like yesterday morning, I did post a question in chat and it was talking about health, right? You know, we all need to have a great health. I forgot what it said. Let me see if I could actually pull it up for you real quick. Let me see. Okay, so it says yesterday I deposed that quote. It said yesterday, it says do not let illness make you realize the value of health, right? I chose that because yeah. So that's that's the quote that I put yesterday. But now I want to talk about the 3 steps to making sure that you are healthy, right? So in order to actually solve a problem, you gotta admit that you have one, right? So the first step is goals. So you gotta write what you want, things that you're trying to get rid of, right? You gotta make sure that, okay, hey, that's what I want. And you gotta make sure you write it down, right? So step 2 is exercise plan. I go to the gym like probably 3 to 5 times a day. I mean, not a day, a week, right? So you gotta make sure you go from 1 to 6 times to the gym, right? Go run for a little bit. You could actually, or do some yoga, right? You gotta make sure you exercise because it's good for the body. So I haven't been in the field for a while. And I went now I'm at Walmart. I'm working from 12 to 8. And you gotta make sure that, hey, you kind of like gotta be flexible for the hours. I started getting tired a little bit, but but because I'm going to the gym, I know how to move my body in the field. Right. So step 3, you gotta make sure you eat right and you drink some water. Right. You can't be eating anything going to the field. Can't be, I'm not saying don't eat, you can't be, I would say like, okay, you can't be eating burgers all the time or any junk food all the time. That's not good for your health. All right. So let's say you could buy a salad. Right. I've been kind of eating salad a little bit more often now, right? It's it's light. It's not no burger, because a lot of time when you eat these junk food, what's gonna happen? You're gonna actually feel tired during the day. Right? You gotta make sure you watch what you're eating every single day. And drink some water, right? One thing that you could do as well, even though that's still step 2, one thing that you could do, you could buy some bread, and some peanut butter and put it in a little bag, you know what I'm saying? And, eat that during the day, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna keep you, instead of you go buying a burger and stuff like that. I'm not saying not to eat burger, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So yes, that's all I have for today. So step 1, the goals. Step 2, you gotta exercise, have an exercise plan, right? Make sure you exercise for real. Even if you want to go to the gym, before you go out to the field, do some yoga. You know what I'm saying? Stretch a little bit. Step 3, eating right, and make sure, you know what I'm saying, you drink water. Thank you, guys. That's all I have for today.
Great job, Dudley. Call center number 1, Dudley. Topic: 3 steps to making sure you're healthy. Number 1, write down your goals. 2, exercise, get moving. And 3, eat right and drink water. So I hope you guys are taking notes, because this is knowledge that is being dropped, and this is something you can always go back to. So thank you for that, Dudley. And we're gonna now throw the ball over to Laquita, call center number 2. Let's get it.
All right, can you give me one moment? I'm sorry.
So we're gonna, we'll come back to you, Laquita. We're gonna throw the ball over to Crystal. Crystal is the general manager in VA. Crystal, great morning. Let's get it. What's your topic?
Good morning. My topic today is field friend. 5 steps to when you are out with a partner And I think being out with someone is like very important because it's getting dark early. Sometimes it keep getting dark earlier and earlier. So I just had like 5 steps to having a field friend out in the field. My first step was let them know when you are about to enter a house. 2 was give them the address. 3, give your location while you and the field friend are out. Y'all swap locations. If you know that your house, if you know that you are in a house, if you know that your field friend is in a house longer than anticipated with a customer, call them. If no answer, go knock and make sure your field friend is okay. 5, you and your field friend, if y'all come together, you leave together. It's getting dark early and we must be careful if we're working after dark. So that was all I had this morning on having a field friend and being safe out in the street.
Yes, Crystal. So the topic was, this is Crystal, our VA manager, and her topic was having a field friend, making sure that you're staying safe in the field, making sure that you're letting each other and making sure that you are making each other aware of where you are and what's going on while you're out in the field, so you're being safe. So that was amazing. That's great. Thank you so much for that, Crystal. Let's throw some fire in the chat for Crystal. And Laquita, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Great morning. Let's get it.
So today, you guys, I'm gonna be training on how to operate the tablet. I know that we all have been experiencing some difficulties with it. So today I will be going over how to build a smart card and how to utilize that tablet and how to pull that smart card up in your tablet. So is there a way that I can share my screen?
If you're on your computer,
You should be able to press to share
Okay, I see it.
and share it.
All right, so here. If you're working off like an iPhone or Android, something like that, you want to make sure that you go into privacy mode. So you guys see where it says privacy browser mode. That way, when you call in or if you're utilizing your tablet, it won't say that your order number has pulled up from the previous order that you made. So here, you will click on files, check availability, and now randomizing just any address that I know can get the services. Also know that any phone number that you put in this smart card is what will pull up on the in optics. So being that Verizon can get the customer's information and close the sale before you could, if you don't do it right away, you can enter just any phone number like this, like I enter right here, and it'll still pull up. So let's see. Just enter in an email and then press continue. Great news, Verizon Fios is available. Order now. All right. So we have different packages. Most of you guys already know that, but for the ones that don't, there are different packages that we do have to offer, like the gig, the 500 over 500, and the 300 over 300. Please refer back to Bridge to Gap University and also the training manuals to find out that information. Also, you can call into the call center, but please refer back to your general managers for that training as well. So you will select 300 over 300. And if that's the only service that the customer is receiving, they don't want any TV packages or home phone, you can go ahead and check out. It'll say no thanks. It'll try to upsell you. Press no thanks. Once you get to this screen, this is where you stop. This information that you see right here, this is what you will pull up in Optics. So I'm going to go ahead and log out on the tablet. You guys still up? So when you log into your tablet, can you guys see? Or is it blurry?
Take off the blurry filter.
A little blurry. There you
Okay,
go.
can you see now? All right. So you see where here it says Optics, you will press on that. Log in. The best way to find your login information is if you go into your email and you type in your search bar VZ Learn. So what that does is it pulls up your login information, and it also gives you everything that you need as far as logging in, the questions and answers, and also your PIN. So for me, of course, my last name, and then my login. The next thing will be the PIN. That PIN is 918-18421. Questions and answers. What's your favorite food? Fish. Their pet's name, Sophie. Oh, sorry. And now enter your password. One second. And then it loads. It logs in and your information will pop up. Once your information pops up, dashboard, allow it if your pop-up blocker is on. I have to tell you. All right, so this customer name, we're gonna name them Cassandra. Brooks. All right, so now you can go ahead and put that phone number that was used, excuse me, which was 804-866-6666. All right, so the email is optional, but if you did not enter that email on the smart card, you can enter it here so that way it could pull it up. So. It will load. Sometimes it may take a little time, but at the same time, it's gonna load. So please bear with it. That address has crossed over onto Optics from the smart card. Make sure that everything is correct. The only thing that's gonna pop up here is everything that you've entered in that smart card. So make sure that all of the information is correct. You wanna press resume. Again, it is gonna take some time. So this is where you start talking to the customer, building rapport, making that time worthwhile. While they wait, talk to them, offer them something to drink if you got something to drink. Would you like some water? Would you like some Cheez-Its if you got some? Anything, just like make them feel welcome, make them feel like it's not just about the sale.
What'd you talk to your customers about when you in this wait period, Laquita?
I talk to them pretty much about anything. I talk to them about their life. I talk to them about their goals, whether they might be interested in a position with the company, what they do as far as like, hey, what type of work do you do? What do you like doing? If they come to me and they're already talking, sometimes they may be talking about what's going on in life. They might be talking about advice that they may need, things that they may hear. So that's the type of things that I like helping people with. Also sea moss and things like that. They love talking to me about those type of herbs and things.
Thanks for the examples.
You're welcome. All right, so it has not generated yet, but it will. Just give it some time. All right, so here when you put the 300 over 300, you do see that is highlighted. So you have 500 over 500 and the gig. Make sure everything that you put in optics is correct on on the smart card is correct on optics. Then here it says offers. If the customer has not agreed to auto pay, you would like to press this. Make sure the auto pay is taken off. Then press month to month. Make sure everything else is correct. Review equipment and accessories. All right, everything is correct. And now you want to wait until this turns red. Once it says review order, you go ahead and press that. And just so you guys know, this is a recorded training. So therefore you can find this information back on YouTube if you need it. Also, I am available. We all are available if you need to call in and ask any questions. Press checkout. And this is the credit check part. So you would click here to confirm that you understand the above. Make sure that you read the disclaimer. Make sure you read this information. Once you're finished, press yes. That's just to let you know that it's a soft credit check and that it will be sending the information over to the customer. Mobile number, you want to press send the link. If you don't send it, it's going to look like that. If you do send it, it's going to say a link has been sent to the customer. All right, so that's where it says the link has been sent. At this point, the customer will enter their information. Once they enter their information, it'll come back. So once it comes back, excuse me one moment, because I have a picture for you guys so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here you go. Before I put this up there, give me 1 second. I want to make sure that no information is showing. All right. Okay. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes.
All
we
right.
can.
So this is the screen where if you have to call credit verification, this is what you will see. When you call into credit verification, they will ask you for that order number. So where you see products, view details, check risk, and it says medium refresh, that black area right there, that's where your that's where your order number will be. Also, when they say credit verification, not credit verification, your credit reference code, that is that credit reference code right there that is also blacked out. That's something that you don't have to worry about as long as you have that order number available. So here, once you call into credit verification, you will give them that code, that order number, also your name. Once you give them your name, they're gonna ask you for the customer's name. Let them know the customer's name, let them know this is an ACP account and that you would like to apply the ACP to the bill. Once you do that, they're gonna ask you for your ID, your SSO ID. So say for instance, if your last name is me, for instance, Blake, you would say your last name is Blake and your SSO ID is BLA LA6Q, for instance. Once you do that, it's like, okay, cool. They're gonna pull up your information, they're gonna verify, they're gonna ask you for your first and last name to verify you. Once they verify you, that's when they will proceed with the order, making sure that everything is taken care of. So please make sure when we call into credit verification, there's only one voice heard, yours and the customer's. If you call into call center and we're using your ID, we will allow you to call and place that call with credit verification. You sound more like you than we can sound like you. So pretty much we're allowing you guys to learn the ropes completely. Once you learn the ropes, you're gonna be like free bird. Make sure that you have everything that you need to make sure that you're successful for that day. Also, make sure that we are able to get everything done smoothly. Calling into credit verification, everything is monitored, so make sure that there's no interferences with the background. You're not hearing 3 or 4 agents in the background, because that's something that we can get dinged for. And also, once you get to the next screen, after this, it's gonna ask you for the installation date. Sometimes they may pop up and say self-install. Make sure that the customer, if they want self-install, okay. If they don't, make sure that you switch it over. And we're not just putting that the customer is disabled, because once the technician goes into the house and they see that customer is not disabled, it's like, so who made this order? Make sure that you're saying other and that the tech is requested or the tech is needed. That way they know, okay, the customer may not know how to install it. So we're gonna go there because they asked for us. Also, after that screen, it's gonna go to asking for you to verify the contact information. Once you verify that contact information, it may not go through because the email may be wrong or that phone number may not be correct. Make sure that everything is correct before you move forward. It will not allow you to move forward. So don't get frustrated. Just correct the information that you may have. There may be one mistake that you may haven't noticed. So just double check. Once you finish, once you close out, you will get to the screen where it's gonna ask you about refreshing the monthly charges. Press no for the auto pay. If the customer is not getting auto pay, refresh it. Make sure that they do the terms and agreement. They make their password. Refer back to Optics New Connect screen. Once you click back on that, make sure that that you press the customer, they agree to the terms and conditions. Yes, that they acknowledged it. Press I acknowledge that I allowed the customer to know and place your order. That is the way to the tablet. If you have not, able to get one, make sure you place themselves and get with your manager to be able to get one. Also, make sure that you guys are, make sure that you guys are keeping up with your information. So therefore, if you're using your ID, go to reports to pull up all of the sales that you have made. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. And that's all I have for you guys today.
Thank you so much for that, Laquita. Let's throw some fire in the chat for Laquita. Thank you for that knowledge. Some fire.
No worries.
There we go. Thank you so much, Laquita. Call center number 2. Yes, we're going to give the ball over now to Talia, General Manager in PA.
Great morning, everybody. So today I just want to talk about self-determination and being determined. One second. Okay, so self-determination is a simple thing. It comes with practice, and then it could transform your life as well as the life of people around you. To become a determined person, first of all, you will have to discipline your life on a daily basis, as everyone has just 24 hours in a day. And what makes a difference is how you utilize these hours. Then set one goal in life and mark the way to achieve it. Write down somewhere that there is no shortcut to success. Your every action should be oriented towards the same goal. Keep your mindset very positive and be determined. Even when you face failures, consider failures as the hurdles, but not as the full stop on the way to success. If you keep moving in the right direction with a positive mindset and determination, you will come out as a winner. And that's all that I have for you guys today.
Okay, guys, let's give it up to Talia. Stay determined. That's her topic. Thank you for that, Talia. Let's throw some fire in the chat for Talia. Okay, there we go. So now that leaves me, and my topic is confidence. So confidence sells, right? So I have 5 keys to gaining confidence and being confident, within yourself. So number 1 is dress. Dress with confidence. Dress the way you would feel, the way you want to feel. Dress the way you want to feel. So basically, if we're coming out with, sweats on and this on, then we're ready to feel like we're ready to go to bed, right? So we're not going to be confident in that. So if we dress with confidence, then, we'll have that energy to be out there in the field and to speak to our customers. So we really, really, really want to dress professionally, and that definitely builds our confidence. That's number 1. Number 2 is product knowledge. So knowing your product, and thank you, Laquita, for that, and her going over, Smart Card and going over optics, and, for us to learn that and to master it and to know it, and not get agitated when things happen. So that is something that we want to make sure that we know. Knowledge is power. When we know our product, then we take and it builds our confidence, when we know the things that we know. So that's number 2. Believe in yourself. Okay, so you must believe in yourself, and your abilities, what God gave you. You have to believe in it. You have to believe that you can do it. And that comes by studying. That comes by studying, once again, your product knowledge and the things that you do. So anything that you do, you got to master it. if we don't master the things that we do, and we just become a jack of all trades and just don't master and sit down to do that one thing, then it's never going to work. And we're never going to build that confidence because we're just all over the place. So that's number 3, believe in yourself, right? So number 4, do new things. Do something new, do something that you would never do. And once you conquer that thing, that actually builds your confidence, because you said, I went at it, I did it, and it just rises, your confidence rises. So that is a beautiful thing. And then number 5 is be prepared. Be prepared for anything that may happen, that may arise when you're out in the field, when you're door to door, whatever it is that you're doing, must be prepared. Have your pen, have your pad, make sure that your tablet is charged, your iPad is charged, make sure your phone is charged, get yourself a little charger, make sure that that's charged, so that you have, if it's cold, have your hand warmers, get things to keep yourself warm, to make sure, because you're out there, and this is an all commission paid job. So you want to be out there and you want to make sure that you're doing what you're doing to make sure that you're successful. And, that comes back to being dressed professionally, and making sure that you have everything that you need while you're out there, so you don't second guess anything. And that builds up your confidence as well. Once so dress professionally, know the product, go back to BTG University, go back inside of it, little by little, don't breeze through it, take the time to really look at it, and understand the product. Believe in yourself, do new things, and be prepared, guys. So that's all I have. And that was my topic, confidence, and confidence sells. So that's how you gain self-confidence and stay confident. So that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat, or you can come off mute. No questions, guys?
Yeah, how you keep a balance between not being a jack of all trades and trying new things?
You have to focus on that thing. Our priority is what we're going to focus on, right? So if our priority is, knowing that we need to know this product, right? We need to know this. If this is something that we're doing and this is what we're in, then we're going to prioritize that. So we're going to focus on that one thing. We're going to focus on what our desire is. So if we focus on this and this is our desire, you got to make it your desire, knowing that this is what I need to do. And this is how I'm going to become successful. So, doing other things and doing everything else, it's not going to help us. It's just too much. You got to focus on one thing. So that's how I focus. I make sure that I stay in that thing and I go full force with it. That's what I do.
And being self-determined and confident, like you said, Cedar.
Yes, self-determined. Yes, Talia, your topic, absolutely. Self-determined. You have to be that.
And can I say something? So I also think how to not be a jack of all trades, not focus on too many at the same time. You have to really pay attention and realize what's giving you more, like focus on what you're getting more out of. That should be your priority at the moment. And then, when you get enough, and then you can, transfer it to whatever else you want to do. But I think it's best to focus on what's giving you more, what's worth more of your time, So if you have a passion, or if it's jobs or whatever it is, if something is giving you more income, you're getting more income out of that, and you can transfer that income to your passion or focus on what you really, really desire deep down, you could do that. You could do whatever you want to do, but a lot of things require money first. So I usually think focusing on making money first.
How do you guys keep yourself from being so anxious about trying new things?
How would I keep myself from getting anxious about trying new things?
Or finishing something you already started?
Oh, you can always finish. Okay, ask yourself, what was the reason why you didn't finish? You didn't finish, was it because of you didn't have time, you didn't have enough money, you needed more resources, more equipment, whatever it is? You're gonna find your answer there. If you didn't finish because you needed more money to buy equipment or resources, then now your focus is money. And then you get money and then you spend that money where you need it to finish what you started.
Like you said, sometimes things come up that you could get more from. At the same time, it's credibility on the line with other things that you already started.
I understand.
May I say something, Anthony?
Yes, ma'am.
Focus. You got to focus. You can only focus on so much at one time. If you're trying to focus on 5 different things at one time, something is going to fall through the cracks. You got to find what it is that you are passionate about, as Nathalie said. Focus on that, master it, get it going, and then move on to the next. But trying to do 4 or 5 things at one time, you're not going to be able to give everybody and everything proper attention that it needs. So try not to get yourself involved in too many things at one time. I mean, are you master at any of these things that you're focusing on doing? Or are you just trying to figure out how to do a whole lot of things at one time?
No, I'm kind of crazy about self-development, but they were saying it take 10,000 hours to master anything. But that's what I'm trying to say. If you separate that time into multiple subjects, then maybe you'll come out and master at least one of them, if not all of them. But I understand what you're saying. The key word here is sacrifice.
And focus. You got to focus on something. You sacrifice to do that focus. You sacrifice in order to be able to master something. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot to do that. But you're going to have to stay focused on what it is you're making them sacrifices for.
I appreciate everybody.
We
Well,
appreciate you, King.
Ms. Charlene, I have a question for anybody that can answer this. Is that okay?
sure.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Great
Yes.
morning.
Leah.
Listen, my problem is balance. I need to find balance.
In what area do you need balance in what?
You know what? It's like when you're a single mother, right? It's hard to balance, your kids, yourself, and your job. So it's just trying to find balance in life, period. You understand? And that's it. Because they say you gotta take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. But at the same time, it's like it's the balance because you don't want to seem selfish and stuff like that. And it's just like I feel like that's been my downfall. Is I took care of everybody or everything, but I didn't take care of myself, and that's where I'm like, ugh. Yeah.
So I will answer your question. For me, I would say time management, knowing like how and when to get things done. So say for instance, if the kids are busy playing for a second, you can take that time to make sure that you're good, make sure that you're spending that time with yourself because you do need the time for yourself. Not only time management, like making sure that you have everything in a line, organization, making sure that everything is organized and working in the best way. So you will have to go through different plans, different steps, and different things to see which best works for you. And also not just you, what works best for your household, what works best for your life, as far as your job with the kids and, yourself. So you have to build the schedule, also prioritize what's most important. So if something doesn't get done, it's not detrimental to the day and to how you operate your day. So it's like making sure like, okay, I go to the grocery store, that's a priority. Fixing dinner, that's a priority. Me hanging out with my friend, talking on the phone, that's not really a priority. I could talk to them later. Right. So you could be like, oh, I could talk to you later. That's something that I won't have to put at the top of the list of getting done. I could put everything that needs to get done at the top of the list. And I guess that helps me. Is that like something, was that your question?
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just trying to find out. I think like the secret of life, right, is like balance for
Right.
everything. And that's my struggle, is trying to find balance, and that's it.
You can also wake up earlier. Wake up early so you can have that time for yourself before you get to give your time and energy to everybody else, especially your kids or your job. If you can't wake up early and, breathe, do a little 10-minute meditation or breathing exercise so that you can be more calm and ready for the day. And like Laquita was saying, plan it out. Write down what's more important to you to the least important. Get the ones that are more important to you done first. And also have a schedule. Know when you're gonna work, know when you get to see your kids and what you're gonna do. Just plan it all out. Get a planner. I think a planner might be your best friend if you really
No,
want.
I got trust me, I'm an old lady. I got like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Definitely utilize some things.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a dinosaur in certain areas. But it's just like, oh my goodness, it's like, y'all know what it's like, right? It's like, man, you would I don't know, just about to find a
You can
balance.
also set alarms. Set alarms, and on your alarm, put what that alarm is for. So you can also have those reminders like, hey, I got to do this at this time. Now it's getting close to this time. So you say, for instance, you need something done at 7. Put an alarm at 6, put an alarm at 6:30, put an alarm at 6:50. Like, hey, this is what I have to do. So make sure. I understand sometimes we can't overlook those alarms or, miss those alarms, but make sure that you are keeping up with it for the most part. And that you make it work for you. Don't let it work you, work it.
Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
Guys, I'm sorry, but I can't let this topic pass without saying something. Guys, for me, there isn't a balance. There isn't a balance. And my life got a lot easier when I stopped looking for a balance. There's only discipline for me, right? If it's important enough to me, I'm going to get it done. So it starts for me with understanding what's truly important to me. That I understand who I am. I understand as a man that I need to protect and I need to provide. I understand who's important to me, who is in my circle, who is my family that I love, that I'm taking care of. Who are the ones that are building me up, nourishing me? Okay, great. This is who I got here. Great. This is all I need. They call, it's important. But I also make sure that I communicate to everybody, hey, here's what I'm doing from this time to this time. So when I call, so when you call, you automatically know where I am. When it comes down to family, those lines blur all the time. I was just telling Dudley, and I think Mathali, and I think even Yosef, the lines blur all the time. That's exactly why I come to work and I treat you guys like my family. And then I'm at home treating people like I'm at work. It happens all the time. And I have to constantly discipline myself to just do better. But I chose to be extraordinary. The problem is that we want more. That's a hell of a problem. If that's the only problem that you got, is that you want more, congratulations. Now, the real problem is if you don't want anything and you're trying to be everybody's friend and you want to be mixy and you want to be it, right? That's not it. You have to move with a definition in your life. You got to know what you want. You got to know the reason why you're going after it. And then everything else will clear up, but it's not about a balance. I know that I can't take a phone call. I look at the time when someone calls me. I know a 5-minute conversation when I hear one. I know from the time that someone called me like, hey, this conversation gonna be short, or I'm not even picking up, because I know my goal. I got a good sense of the things that I got to do today. And very rarely do I have a light day anymore. Very rarely do I have a light day, and there's no day where I can lay in the bed all day. I haven't seen that day in years where I can feel like, even if I don't feel well, but that's my discipline. That isn't my balance. There's no day that I feel, if I take time out to watch a television show, it's only because I want to spend some quality time, and that's why I stopped to spend that quality time. I have to be well-read. I have to study. I have to discipline myself this way. If not, I can't be a leader. I'm disqualified. You don't want to be disqualified from leading your own life. You want to be prepared. If you love the people that you love and your family, there is no balance, because you got to show them. You got to show them what real success looks like. They need to see it. If they don't see it in you, they're going to look for it in others. And God forbid they look for it in the wrong things, in the wrong person. And somebody who's doing it the wrong way, but it looks good. It looks like what their success is. People I love, they need to see my definition of success. They need to see me getting to it. And I know that they'll appreciate it later, because there's certain comforts that come with that. But there is no comfort in letting others drag me down, in trying to find a balance and never finding one, and becoming mediocre. So for me, I choose balance. I choose discipline over balance. I don't worry about a balance anymore. I hope this helps, guys.
Quincy, I just have an announcement. So I just wrote my first book.
Powerful. And I want a copy.
Congratulations.
So excited.
You can leave it inside the office, or you can mail it to the house, however you want to do it. But I need a copy of that book.
Okay.
Send me the link. How much is it? I'll send you over the link. I'll Zell it over to you. I'm definitely paying for your book, and I need a copy.
It's $22.95.
On it.
What is it about? Self-development?
Sorry.
What is the book about?
So the book is it's the name of it is God in Your Yard. So it basically has to do a lot with kind of what we were just talking about, Marilyn was saying, and it has a lot to do with that, and how we can't let things get to us, and things that we do to make sure that we don't let things get to us. To sum it up.
What inspired you to write that book?
The Holy Spirit. God inspired me to write the book.
X.
Yeah. So I went ahead and wrote it. It's just it feels good to have something in your hand that you wrote, and a publishing company actually wanted to publish it, and they actually took it. So that it just feels good. I feel good. I feel really good.
I need to get the name of your book too, so or the way to buy that book.
I appreciate that.
Congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much, King.
You plan on writing another book?
Yes, I'm planning on putting it into like a series. Yes, a series and other books.
That's what's up.
Drop the link in the chat if it's on Amazon.
Yeah. These are actually the complimentary books, and then we're going to finish the process of everything and make sure that I like everything, and then yes, I definitely will. Thank you so much, Natalie.